The Cosmic Council once presided over a peaceful collective. Collectors coexisted in harmony and mutual appreciation. But disaster loomed. Escaping just before destruction, the last of the council headed out into space to regain what was lost. Collecting all they can on their journey, they now find themselves here on Earth. Welcome to the Cosmic Council, the sight and sound of collecting.
We're here. Happy New Year, everybody.
Is that an upgrade? That was cool.
Was it? You like it? It's exactly how Ed did it.
Not to do with me, Gov. it was too long. I lost attention about 10 seconds into it.
Is that right? I think somewhere I do have the short one still.
That was all right.
God. Happy New Year, Benjamin. I knew you'd be here. Although apparently there's a few more as well.
People are watching. Oh,
there's people watching. There's people watching.
Yeah, they do.
They're all better to do.
You know, I was actually more amazed the other day when I was doing the live stream while packing parcels, and I had 14 people watching.
That's good.
Really?
Yeah. Hello,
Hello, how are you doing?
Great, see.
Congratulations on your win, which is now in the post.
There's some sadomasochistic people out there.
No, we haven't. We haven't what? What have I missed? You know what? I should have. Is it that one? No? I was well prepared last time because I had all of these done. I haven't done anything.
Well, don't forget I believe we have presents to exchange still, do we not?
We do, yes. I did just have a look to see what I'd put in the description of this week's episode, and it's just like, what did we get for Christmas? I meant to add to it, but no, I haven't. No, we haven't. Lol. Got anything better to do? No, there we go. Got anything better to do. I get it. Yeah, I know now what you mean.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I'm absolutely shattered at the moment. I've been tidying kids' bedroom up all.
Evening, Pete's toys and things.
Hello, Pete. Hello, how you doing, sir? Did I just assume his gender? Oh, he's on two.
I was going to say, I think that's that's one of those.
He's on two there. He's on three. Hello, Mark. How you doing?
Oh, he's off for the technical question already.
The Palitoy logo is. It's the Palitoy style.
It could be rather unique, couldn't it?
I think
it's not downloadable though.
Let me get back to you on that one, Matt, because I'm pretty sure I have that on my hard drive somewhere.
Okay.
Because if you look at some of my past posts on Instagram, when I've been posting the Action Force stuff, I think I used it on there.
Okay.
Hello, bot.
Interesting. Very interesting. So, did anyone get anything nice for Christmas? Did we already ask this? I can't remember now.
A piece of coal and a tangerine.
I think our last council was just before Christmas, wasn't it?
Well, I got myself some nice stuff from Doncaster when I was there, obviously, but
yeah. I can't talk about what I got, can I? Because it airs tomorrow night. Hide it all. Hide it.
Ed's caused me to get a few more bits since then as well.
Well, no, I sent you a message. I didn't. You're just weak-willed.
And you knew I would be, damn you, sir.
So I take it from that, then you've bought it.
Might have done.
Yeah, you have. Well, I'm glad you did, because I almost did. So I thought, right, I'll message Andy about it.
There's one of two options here. Either Ed seen it and liked it and thought, I can't, but he might. Then I can see it.
Well, no, it was basically like he can bite, so then I don't have to bite it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So.
Scoundrel. Yeah.
Well, you see,
always,
I mean, always thinking of others.
Indeed. Well, it was a good discount though. Fair dues. I mean, it was.
I mean, to be fair, I thought it was cheap as it was.
Well, I've seen one cheaper recently, but it wasn't quite as complete as that one. So, but yeah, so I mean, I knew ballpark what I might expect to pay for one of them. So that was good timing in that sense. And I haven't seen one on eBay either. In fact, I probably saw it for the first time this Saturday.
Yeah.
In the flesh. So, well, in fact, at all. I'm not even sure I knew it existed. So yeah, that was interesting to see it. Yeah. So you see what it's
stuff. Like. Well, no, I'm glad that you've. I mean, to be fair, I mean it's a site. I'm paying attention. I'll just keep looking at different screens. That's all.
I've been doing the same.
Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, I've not had a full look around it. Even, I mean, I've been going on there a while, and I've still not even had a good rummage round it.
I discovered. You might have noticed this already, but when I went on the sort of the drop down where it categorizes everything, there's an option right at the bottom to look at everything. So I was scrolling furiously through that to see what was there.
Yeah,
that took a while.
That could be a plan then.
Yeah,
that could be a plan.
Well, that's why I shouted out a few things to you as I was going through, because I thought, just because I knew there were certain things that you had half an eye on, so I just sort of mentioned those as I was going. There was a Mighty Max Scorpion. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I've got that one.
I thought you'd have that one. See, this is the thing.
Although there is a very, very rare colour variant of it, which I would love to have, and I'm not paying the price that I've seen it going at. They'd done a box set at one point, and it had 3 of them in it. I think it was either 3 or 4, and I think it's got a subtitle, something along the lines of Clash of the Titans. There's a spider, there's the scorpion, and then there's one of the figurine type ones, which kind of the head opens at the top, and there's things there. Yeah, and they're in completely different colours, and they're a fortune.
Yeah, the heart. Well, it's funny because I saw a Battle Beast like that on that site, which apparently was like a miscoloured one, and that was significantly more expensive than all the others, because clearly it was an odd colour. So yeah.
Battle Beasts.
Yes. Well, I've got 2, and I've said to myself, I'm not going to start collecting them, because I just wanted to get like a couple of examples for display purposes, and that was it. But as soon as you get one with a weapon, it's like a 10 or more. But I imagine there'll be a fight. Obviously, there'll be a finite number that you to collect, but getting them all with their weapons would probably cost a fair bit overall, I guess. But you could do it over time, as with anything else.
From what I've seen, I'm not really up on Battle Beasts, but from what I've seen so far, general rule of thumb is around about a tenner for the figure, 20 for a complete one.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, so yeah. And there's quite a lot of them, isn't there?
There are Battle Beasts, and there are Laser Beasts. And those are even more expensive, yeah.
Now that sounds interesting. Don't tell me about them. Don't tell me about something
you might quite like them, yes. And they're actually a very loose Transformers tie-in as well.
Really? Oh yeah, that's cool, aren't they?
They did have a Transformers crossover, yes.
Yeah, they are.
I believe in animated form. Was it animated or was it comics now? But they did appear sort of almost canonically as being in the same universe as Transformers. So yeah.
No idea.
It's got no idea. It's got no idea. Interesting. I thought you might have been familiar with them. Interesting.
No, I know there's a connection with Transformers, but I don't know how or why. I think it's something to do with a planet where they there might be some Transformers tech involved with it or something, but that's about it. It's out of my knowledge remit. They came along long after I'd stopped buying and playing with toys and stuff like that. So it's so no, I know very little about them, to be fair. And I think, to be fair, even if they had have come out earlier, I can't really see that they would have appealed to me because they're not Transformers. They don't transform.
No, they're more cyborgy than anything else, really.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, right, okay, it's just another figure kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
no, the gimmick was that they had sort of wood, fire, water symbols on their chests, which reacted like the heat rubs on Transformers did, to reveal which character they were. So then you could have sort of combat based on what element they were and so on. So and then they got upgrades to sort of like hologram. Well, not even hologram. They're like prisms. So they're like sort of see-through. But then if you looked at that in the light, you got a symbol as well, and that was the Laser Beasts versions of them.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah. They're quite a big line, they were quite big. And I think in France they were quite popular as well. Because I remember when I was on a school holiday, I brought like a chariot for one as well. So they had a few little action vehicles as well. But that was getting towards the end of the time of them, I think.
All right. A chariot.
I think it was, yeah.
Are we going to get to opening these presents then?
Yeah.
We've waited long enough.
We have waited. We have been terribly, terribly patient.
Got my first one.
Oh, presents.
I've been feeling this to try and figure out what it could possibly be.
God knows well what it is. I told you what it was. It's the same thing you get every year.
It didn't explode on Christmas Day, so it's all good. I've got some nice things.
Last year, you got me things off my wish list.
No, that was your birthday. Yeah, that was your birthday. Yeah, it was your birthday.
It's a birthday then, folks.
It was your birthday. Oh, right, Andy's straight into it then. He's opening the box.
He's got me another box.
Who's that one off then, Andy?
I think this is Ed's, isn't it?
Yes, that's from me. That is from me.
The anticipation is killing us.
Is it? Nothing like live.
To find out what
it's a live unboxing. Here we go.
You be careful with those scissors.
Why? Big screen him, Gareth.
Of course, yeah, I should do, shouldn't I?
Big screen.
That one.
Big screen is like the digital. Yeah, that'll do wonders for the viewing figures. That.
Hello, Mario.
Health and safety, kids. Health and safety. Okay.
Oh.
God, he loves his little. All I'm getting for Christmas apparently is these. What's the proper word for those? Noodles.
Packing noodles,
peanuts, isn't it?
Oh, I smell Zoids.
Packing nuts. Zoids.
Ah, it's a spine back. Cool. Cool. Thank you very much, sir. I'm not sure if I've got one already or not. I might not have, actually. I might not have. I might need one.
You haven't already got one.
I don't think I have. I'm trying to think what I have got. But I don't think it's one of these. That's what a manual looks like for one, if anyone's wondering. You know, these are instructions. I mean, they're really good. They're really well produced manuals as well. Be a little bit careful with them, of course, because they do tend to be a little bit breaky.
They do, yeah. That looks very good.
He's gone in the bag.
The spine's bigger than I thought.
That's what she said.
But
the Gatling gun bit's dropped off. Is it in the bag?
Yes, it is. Yeah, thank you. I was just noticing that. Well, this is exactly what I was saying, that you've got to be careful with them because they are they do have very sort of breaky bits if you're not careful. And this one featured in the comics quite a lot. It was quite a popular model in terms of what they sort of use in the comics and so on. You can see underneath they're really, really clever because they were wind up toys that properly moved. It wasn't just for show, they did actually properly move. So they were very, very cool. So if you were at all into your sort of dinosaurs or anything sort of animally and robotic, then there was a lot of play value in these guys. And I don't think they weren't ridiculously expensive at the time, were they, Ed? I don't think.
No, I think they were about. I think those were probably about $3.99, something like that.
Yeah. I just love the design of them though, because it's the design detail, and you didn't need glue, so they just sort of fit together.
There is no pilot, however.
No, don't worry. I'm sure I've got one knocking around anyway. Not that thing is with these guys, it doesn't matter so much as it did with the blues. You could often see the pilot inside, or not, as the case may be. But at least with the reds, it doesn't matter so much. So I used to fly the cockpits around separately. I thought that they made cool little shuttlecraft, so I just zip them about. And you can stick stuff onto them though, because they've got pegs on the side of them.
Yeah.
So you can just put little blasters with little wings on and just sort of fly them about as a little spaceship. See, it's great.
Well, the Trooperzoid came with like loads of little extra gubbins.
Yeah, it did. It was weird. That was a funny one. That I've got one downstairs.
It came with a spare cockpit, and it also came with like a spare, like a hovercraft looking kind of thing as well.
It had one. It had a back. It had like a rear gunner seat, didn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks. That's very, very cool.
So there you go.
I'm pretty sure I haven't got that one as well. I've been meaning to get it, but I haven't. I don't think I did. Although I've got a pile of Zoids I need to make up actually, because I got some in an auction. Sometimes they send them complete-ish, and other times you get them completely dismantled. On this occasion, I've got a ton that was completely dismantled, and I've got to fish them all out and get them sorted. So somebody else open one now, and I'll go back to my other one, shall I?
We're going to Ed then.
To me, to you.
To you. A nice big close-up of him gulping down his fish air.
Indeed. Right, which do I open first? I'll open this one first.
Which one's that? Oh,
mine. Look at that grown-up wrapping paper.
I've got one of them, so I know it's not from me.
Cool. It's a tea towel.
It's a tea towel indeed.
A t-shirt.
It's a really nice black t-shirt. Thank you very much indeed, sir. No, it does say something on the front.
Okay. Blinzak. Oh, Tron. Very good.
Arcade. Thank you very much, sir.
It is Tron, isn't it? Yeah.
It's Tron,
yes.
Well, he mentioned that you mentioned that you like the Tron Legacy soundtrack, so I assumed that you were generally a Tron fan, so that might.
Yeah, I don't. I have no Tron apparel, but now I do. Oh, actually, no, I do. I have a Tron watch.
Nice.
Well, it's not technical. Well, it is, but it's a Tokyo Flash watch. I imported it, and it's a black band, and the watch face and stuff is like the data discs that they have.
Discs, got you. Yeah.
So, cool. But it's too nice, so I don't wear it. And it was very expensive as well. I don't want it breaking. I got it for me. I think I got it for my 40th. I think.
Wow, lovely.
That's what, 15, 20 years ago?
No, it's about 3 years ago. 3 years ago now.
Yeah, of course.
Excellent. Well, what I'll do, I won't take the tag off yet until I've tried it on.
By all means.
Just in case.
That's a good idea.
So it, because we don't want it to be a bit snug.
What size did I get you? What size did I guess at?
Where are we now? Just hang on a minute. Men's fat bastard. Right, there we go. No, large. It is a large portion, sir. A large portion.
Okay.
Pop it there on top of the Spectrum. Right then, I think it's you next, isn't it, Gareth?
My go. Oh, I'm big now.
And then back round to Andy. Then after that.
To Andy. Yeah, no, I'm going to go with yours first, Ed. Because
there you go.
Not a great deal of unwrapping to do. It's a gift card.
It's a gift card.
Oh,
That wonderful company that needs our support.
With a penis on the front of it.
Is that what it is? It does look a bit like that. I've never thought of it that way. But yeah. So, yes, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
I already know what I'm going to get with it.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. I get vouchers so then people can buy what they want.
It comes with a tree ornament. So there we are. Yeah, I'm going to get a Dragon Force vinyl record with that.
Very good.
Andy,
right, back to Andy.
Back to me.
To me, to you.
Oh, you didn't even take it out of the packing?
No, I've been good. Oh,
Lobot got that as well.
more chocolate.
I forgot to put those in.
Hopefully they're well dated, so thank you. I've got enough mince pies to last me into March. I think I overbought a little bit. It's squidgy. I remember you said something about this, didn't you?
Did I?
Evening jumpet.
It's merchandise. Merchandise. Excelsior's domain. All that good stuff.
Well, it's something I notice you tend to say that quite a lot.
I say all sorts of stuff all the time. It's quite annoying when I listen back to myself.
Yeah, and I thought, you know what? This could be sort of like a slogan.
Cool.
So, that's your first ever piece of merch.
It is. It is. It's very cool.
How did I do on the size?
It looks big, but then it's always relative, depending on what company you're getting it from, isn't it?
Yeah.
What size is it?
It's not like I can swap it either.
No, that's always tricky with these long range things, isn't it? That's the only tricky bit. XL. Well, I'll try it on in due course, and I'll let you know. Okay. If it's too big, I'll just put it in tumble dryer. Then it'll be about 2 sizes smaller when I get it out. Ta-da! It's a cunning plan.
Fair enough.
No, it's not. It's a T-shirt.
Back over to Ed.
Right, that's me.
Oh, it's me. All right. Okay, just hang on a minute.
Benjamin thought it was brilliant.
So I'm just reading the label. There we go.
Okay.
Do not open after midnight. Do not get wet.
Could it be it's about the same size, isn't it? Is it a Spectrum? Do I need to check it? Right, let's have a look then.
If you like. Do what you want with it, to be fair.
It's what?
You can do what you want with it. What about there?
He's like,
you haven't bought one.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. But it's just, I don't know. I just find it really weird considering what I just held up against the package.
Yeah.
Squadron Supreme. Okay.
Which he has no interest in.
Marvel's Dr. Spectrum, Marvel's Hyperion. I just saw a comic for that the other night.
This what? Right, let's open him up.
He's been mentioning this for a little while because he wants one of the two figures. And he was very reluctant to buy the set when he didn't want the other one in the slightest.
Of course.
Yeah, so I'd said to Gareth, I says, if he gets one
Loose.
traded in loose,
Yeah.
I'll have it off him.
The figure.
But now I'll be trading a loose figure into him.
Obviously. Store credit.
God, I hate this packaging.
It's awful, isn't it?
Oh.
Hasbro. Heroes.
Here we go. Oh, all right. Let's just straighten him out. He's all a cock.
Lucky chap.
There we go. Dr. Spectrum. That's his name, isn't it? Dr. Spectrum.
It is.
I mean, I haven't even got a bloody clue who he is. It's just that
Oh, never heard of him.
I was. Had I had the time, which I didn't have, I was going to get a box printed out.
Right.
For him to go in on his own.
Right.
And it was going to be Dr. Spectrum, alter ego of Sir Clive Sinclair.
But yeah, you've got the Spectrum colours there. And...
Yeah.
On his mighty C5.
Yes, that would have been his version of the Batmobile.
Yeah.
And his goal would have been to put microcomputers into all schools so that kids could use them. I would have done a little bit more research.
Yeah. No, that's fair
Robot saying, he's a villain, he's a villain.
He's a villain, okay.
Oh, is he a bad guy?
I heard of Hyperion, but not the other figure.
Lobot thinks he's a villain.
Sorry, is Dr. Spectrum a bad guy or is he a good guy?
Could well be. I don't know. No idea. Lobot says that he is.
Unless he's replying to Benjamin.
He's
Lobot
a villain.
Yeah.
All right. And why is he a villain then, Lobot? What's his raison d'etre?
Oh, no, he's a good guy. Make your mind up.
No, I think he was meaning Hyperion is a villain because Hyperion had just been mentioned in chat.
Oh, is Hyperion a villain?
I think that's the context. Yeah, I think that's the context.
Oh, okay.
Right, okay, let's clear this up. So, who's the villain? Who is the good guy?
Dr. Spectrum. Tell me about Dr. Spectrum.
I mean, this guy looks...
He appears in Avengers Assemble, apparently.
Does he? Oh, Dr. Spectrum.
Apparently he does, yes. Is he a hero or a villain? He's an alien superhero from a distant world.
All right.
Where a team of heroes similar to the Avengers called the Squadron Supreme. The people of their world feared their power and turned against them.
Oh, anti-hero, possibly.
Well, strangely enough, that's on Villains Wiki.
Hey.
And that's the other chap. Captain Custard.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like he might be solar powered. He's got a bit of a sun motif going on, hasn't he?
Yeah, with some kind of like armored girdle on or something like that. Anyway, it'll look nice on your toy shop shelf, will that, Gareth? I mean, you couldn't even really repaint him into a different character.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
What's that?
Hyperion plays both the hero and the villain in his many comic appearances.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, there's another bag. What's in the bag?
Silica gel, whatever it's
Right,
called.
that's some extra fists for Hyperion.
Oh.
Is it Hyperion? Yeah.
Perfect.
And then we've got some
Benjamin likes that.
Likes Hyperion. Oh, the fig. Oh.
I'm guessing it's Hyperion, yeah.
Oh, and we've got some different hands for.
Okay. It comes with groping hands.
And some.
I think he's got a power of ketchup and mustard. I think that's what it is.
And a crystal. A crystal. Give up. There we go. A crystal. You can't really see it.
Gem.
Crystal.
Okay.
We can.
Great stuff.
Gem. Excellent. Thank you very much indeed, sir. I appreciate that. How do you put them on his hands then?
They go over the hand and clip onto the wrist. There'll be some half loops in the centre of the rings.
Ah, right. Yes, I can see it. Yeah.
They've been reused for many of the X-Men and other sort of like wizardy powered villains. I think those ones were actually exactly the same colours went with Dazzler as well. And I think we're just, I don't know, pink, yellow, and blue kind of. No, pink, yellow, and green. I think hers were.
I'm Elton John. Right then, back to you, Gareth. Thank you very much indeed, sir.
I suppose we're over to me now, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Back to you. To me.
Mine comes in the same wrapping paper that Ed's came in.
I'm going to go out on the limb here and I'm going to say it's a tea towel.
Unless it's that thong that he knows I was looking for.
That what?
I'm not repeating it.
Guidelines, remember now, guidelines.
Oh, very good, Andy. Very good. I hope it fits. Oh, QWERTY. Is that where you got them from?
Yeah. Now, you'll have to tell me which flavour of him that is. But...
It's the up-to-date American version.
I mean, the funny thing about QWERTY is they never explicitly say who they are for reasons of not getting clobbered.
Yes.
But they are very good, a lot of them, though.
I used to get loads of T-shirts off them. But
I go in waves. It depends how worn out my current ones are.
Yeah, it's been a good few years since I got any of them. No, that's brilliant. Thank you. Once more for the cameras. For the folks at home.
Yeah, it's good.
There you are. Benjamin says it's cool. And Mario likes it, but Mario, it's mine.
We haven't got a QWERTY code.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. That's my first Godzilla T-shirt.
Your first one?
My first Godzilla T-shirt.
Cool.
Good gift, says Lobot, so we can all go now. We're done. That's it. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'll say it now.
Actually, one thing I was planning on doing once we finished the present opening is opening the doors to anyone who would like to join us. So there, if anyone would like to join us, is the link. And I do reserve the right to kick anyone off for any reason.
Fair dues.
If I need to.
You are the moderator.
Yes. How do we pin that? Pin message. There we go. It's now pinned to the top. If anyone would like to join us. I don't know if Mark's busy. Usual Mike doesn't seem to be with us at the moment. Otherwise, he might have popped on. But yeah, if anyone wants to come on and say hello and share any of what they got, you're more than welcome. Right, let's go back to this. There we are. There we go. Can we think of anything else to actually talk about tonight?
I have a couple of my Doncaster pickups with me to show to people who may not have already seen them, if they would be interested.
Yeah, if we could do a little bit of that if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put you back on big screen then.
Okay.
There we go.
So behold, the rather battered and rather random but rather lovely Terrahawks.
Terrahawks.
Which is a nice pickup from Doncaster, which I wasn't anticipating because I've never seen them there before. But then I've never actually got round the whole thing before. That was kind of my mission, was to actually get round the whole place. So here we've got a Treehawk, Hawkwing, and Space Hawk, and a little Terrahawks badge. A little bit of blurb on the back about them all, which doesn't read correctly because I'm inverted for some reason. But yeah, it's the box isn't sort of minty, but the price kind of reflected that. Little little sort of pictures on the side. But it's by Bandai, and this was actually at a time before Bandai became associated with some of the smaller Thunderbirds craft, at least in the UK, I think. So it occurred to me that was an interesting precursor to them then doing other Jerry Anderson stuff later. But because it's Bandai, there's a really, really good representations of what they look like on the show. You know, there's no appreciable difference really. So they're really good toys in that sense. So if you were familiar with the show, there's a bob on. And they still seems to be sealed in there as well. So although the box is a bit battered, it looks like no one's had them out, but they've replaced them very, very carefully. So you know, I thought that was quite a nice find. And that does and that takes me back to a Christmas from years gone by when I got those at a Christmas time as well.
Okay.
So that was quite nice to see those again at that sort of time of year. You know, I thought that was entirely appropriate. So, does anyone else want to do a show and tell? Or do you want me to do another one?
You go for another one. Like I said, he's got something to show.
Just what I got for Christmas, but it's okay. I need to go get it anyway. It's all down there, so
okay.
You carry on, Andy.
So this is the other one I've got to hand, which is this. And again, this was one that I had not seen before ever. And
Ulysses.
But again, I checked on eBay last night as a morbid curiosity, and the Poppy toys that were of the era are indeed hilariously expensive.
Jesus,
as compared to this Space Jesus, I'll have you know. Thank you very much. So this is a French figure from the series. You can always tell when it's a French one because they dropped the S, so it's not Ulysses, it's Ulysses 31. Because it was obviously originally a French show, and that's but the box artwork is lovely. So you got Zeus there in sort of what do you call it, silhouette almost. But it is indeed Lobot. That's entirely. It's precisely what he was. He had a laser sword with a shield built into it. And I can't see another one in eBay, so I have no idea what they're actually worth if I were to actually ever get rid of it. But that is a reissue, I believe, of an earlier version of it as well.
Hello, Brick something.
Brick something. Hello, Brick something.
And a happy 24th.
Lego tuber. Marvellous.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was a great cartoon. It's a great cartoon. Entirely agree, Mario. It's a great cartoon. I do have the DVD box set downstairs.
Mario. There we are. I missed that. No, I've never seen Ulysses.
Honestly.
31.
I'll just strap you into a chair, prop your eyelids open, and feed it to you.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah?
Yeah, I enjoyed it as a kid. It's a good cartoon.
Yeah.
You see that, folks? It's still working. It's still working.
It's not, sorry?
I said, you're still working, marking things off.
I might be. I'm multitasking.
I know, Lobot, but I'm not as old as all you guys.
He's the nipper.
Yeah.
Hi, Jumpy.
They were no longer showing it when I was a kid.
I was quite pleased with it with myself on the video, because I said on the video when I described it that it was shown on BBC, and I checked afterwards to make sure that I wasn't talking complete rubbish, but it was actually shown on the BBC. So it could have been Channel 4. It felt almost like a Channel 4 show. Maybe they showed it later. I don't know, but
no, they used to show it on the broom cupboard.
Wouldn't it be prior Channel 4?
It's what?
Wouldn't it have been prior Channel 4? When did Channel 4 come about?
82.
82.
It's about the right time. That's why I was sort of I was overthinking it in a sense. I was sort of thinking, what was that? But then Jason the Wheeled Warriors, I think, was Channel 4, so I might have been thinking of that. That was a very similar time as well.
Ulysses was shown on the broom cupboard a bit later. I think it probably in about 84, 85 maybe, with Ulysses.
That is a very colourful
that's expressive.
What you would do there, Lobot.
They are available on an auction site near you, but they are not cheap. Good Lord.
Oh my God, Jumpy thinks that Channel 4 started 84. Google is our friend. I've not got an awful lot to show.
Yeah, I were right, yeah. It was 1982. I knew I were right.
There you are. There you are. Ed knows his stuff.
Well, I know everything about nothing and not too much about that.
But I'm going to go over to big screen now, and I'm going to show you something that I picked up in a Facebook group. I very, very rarely buy from Facebook groups, but it's something I don't already have these editions of. I've got the same books, but they come in a big chest that's still sealed. So I thought I could buy some reading copies.
Is it Barbara Windsor's autobiography?
Yes, how did you guess? Legend of Zelda, the mangas.
Oh, mangas, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it's randomly opening on a page. Hope there's no boobs.
Why would there be boobs in Legend of Zelda?
Well, it's manga, right?
It's manga.
There shouldn't be, but it's manga.
Right, okay.
So yeah, there's the Oracle of Seasons and the Oracle of Ages. The one that I'll probably read first, Ocarina of Time, the all-time classic story.
Nintendo 64.
Yeah. Can't go on to the next one until I show this one, really, then, because this one is Majora's Mask. Okay. And A Link to the Past. So there's two in that one. These ones were on the DS, the Minish Cap and the Phantom Hourglass. And the Four Swords, which was... I think that was another DS game, but you could also get a version of it on the GameCube as well. So yeah. If and when I get around to reading them, I'll let you know. I managed to get them at 35 quid for the lot, including postage.
With those, then, were those stories written after the games had come out?
Yes, yeah, they are adaptations of the games.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and if I remember rightly, it's the same author all the way through it.
And are they like officially authorized then by Nintendo?
Yes, they are. Yeah. But no, right. you get a little bit of, I don't want to say continuity because everyone is a different storyline, a different realm. They don't continue on one after another. But you'll get the same kind of consistency. Maybe that's probably the better word, with it being the same author.
Right.
All the way throughout. So, yeah, I look forward to that. Because most of the games, as big a fan as I am of Legend of Zelda, most of the games I haven't played. I've only played the Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I played some of Wind Waker, which isn't here. They haven't done that. I played some of Twilight Princess, and then I've played the two latest ones. So there's an awful lot of Legend of Zelda games I've never played.
Right.
So I do look forward to actually reading them just to get the story, really. But I did panic a little bit at first because the guy that I bought them off, never dealt with him before. As soon as I said, yeah, I'll buy them, PM me PayPal, he messaged me with his PayPal address and he was like, would you mind sending friends and family to help out with the postage fees? I was like, no, I don't think so. Like, these are never going to turn up, are they? I went, How about I pay the fees? So I think it cost me £36.20 or something altogether. But I thought, you cheeky beggar. Yeah, my cobbling boobs. So, did you say you had something to show us, Ed?
Yeah, I haven't been and got it. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back in 2.
Okay. I'll flick us back to this for now then.
I'll be back next week.
I'll be back next week. We're not on next week. So what's your plans for the year, Andy?
I probably still won't have bought God Phoenix by this time next year, knowing me. I'm humming and hawing over the cunning plan of trying to put 2 together, or waiting for a halfway decent one to come up, or paying ridiculously over the odds for a fully boxed one with all the bits.
Okay.
But for me, I'm not sure I can justify the amount this guy wants for a boxed one. I'm sure it would be lovely, and it would be in prime condition and not yellowed, which a lot of them are. And that's why I'm thinking about mashing 2 together, because the plastic on them seems to be very prone to yellowing. And you know, I'm not super fussy about condition, but I'd rather have a nice one.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I have to pay slightly more to get a nice one, then I probably would do. But the problem is there aren't that many of them popping up. And I'm actually kicking myself slightly, because now that I'm looking back at some of the ones that went while I was, you know, looking at other stuff, I think they were actually slightly larger ones. There's an SD and a DX version of it. And they look is a classic example of them looking exactly the same size because of the way that people are taking photos. But then I realized that the wings have got slightly different stickers on depending on which size it is, and that's a dead giveaway what size it is. But people often don't say what the physical length is of them, you know. So it's kind of tricky.
Ed enters his warehouse catacombs. He returns aged and with a mustache and several future spectrums.
We can see you.
I have not bought a Spectrum.
I'll put that back on for your benefit.
He's got no mustache either.
Left you a message.
Well, actually, he has technically, but
no, I haven't got any Spectrums yet. There may be some coming soon.
He doesn't have enough already.
Nope.
Nope.
Never have too many.
Logan's asking what we think of the new Doctor Who. I can't answer that because I've not watched it.
Have you? Not?
The Christmas special. Oh, does he mean the Christmas special?
Well, he says the new Doctor Who, so I'm assuming he means the new Doctor.
If he means the Christmas special, then if you picture the scene, there's myself and the family sat in the living room. It comes on. We get about 10, maybe 15 minutes into it, and we all pretty much collectively look at each other and kind of like go, and we just turned it over.
Oh,
okay.
It was like, no. So yeah, I've only seen 15 minutes of it, and the 15 minutes I saw it was awful. So, and from you know, the man can't keep his mouth shut in interviews and stuff like that, and from the sounds of it, it's not going to get any better.
Right.
I think it's going to be driven into the ground quicker than a lawn dart. You know, so
okay. Well, it's not made for me. It's made for new people, and I'm not a new people. I'm an old people.
No,
it's. But then again,
did you catch it all, Andy?
I did watch it.
Did you enjoy it? Any good?
I had to get through the first bit and the appearance of what's her face in it as well, which seemed odd. Not Winkleman, another one. Vorderman?
Oh, you mean it's married to Brian May?
If you say so.
The old woman who used to play Angie Watts in EastEnders.
No. The woman who got crushed by the Christmas tree.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that far into it.
No, I can't remember her name now. It'll come back to me. But I thought it was a bit odd because I think it was.
Oh, you mean Davina McCall?
Yeah, Davina McCall. Thank you. Yes. So I just thought that seemed a bit sort of odd to me because it was almost too much our reality in a sense, if that makes sense. It kind of pulled me out of it a bit. And also the way that they portrayed him in the first few minutes seemed to be more like it would have been a character out of the show Sex Education, which I think he's known for.
Right.
And I thought, is not sure that was the right way to do it. And he's supposed to be Doctor Who rather than that character. Not that I've seen that, but it's just that the behaviour was not what I really would have expected from Doctor Who necessarily. But as you say, this isn't our Doctor Who. It's not our generation's Doctor Who. It's kind of, it's going to be different now.
It's a reboot. It's another reboot.
Yeah, I mean, the storyline itself was not necessarily uninteresting, and yet by the same token, it was kind of a little bit Amy Pond-esque for my taste. It felt like it might be a bit similar to that because it's sort of mysterious child with no known earthly genetic heritage. So it's kind of okay. Left by a mysterious figure who we don't know, which is obviously going to be the big question mark during the course of the season, one would assume.
It's the Doctor.
It could be a Doctor.
I have seen that meme.
I think it's the Doctor that brought her as a baby to that family, and it's coming full circle.
Possibly, but then he'd be crossing his own timeline, which I thought he wasn't supposed to do. But anyway,
who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? But I did actually read though. Apparently, Russell T Davies has given an interview, and apparently Disney does have some influence on it. Disney do.
No. What?
Yes,
puppets and a song and dance number involving puppets. And Disney, you've got some influence. You do shock me.
Apparently, it was submitted to Disney for preview, and they supplied some notes. And you know the beginning scene where you see the Doctor chatting to that policeman and then saving him from, the snowman that's fallen off the building. Apparently, those were the notes that Disney suggested bringing the Doctor into the episode earlier and having that particular scene to introduce him.
Okay.
So, which I mean, it's not that far of a push really to imagine that, because I mean I know it's tied up with Sony and Sony's tied up with Disney anyway, through the Marvel films, and Disney's got the rights to show it and air it in America. So, but I mean, like I said, I don't really care. I don't really care. We're talking about it, and I don't care. I couldn't give a fuck. Sorry, I couldn't give a shit. It's like it's dead. It's dead. Well, it's been dead since probably about partway through Capaldi, to be fair.
For me, it is, yeah.
Which is a shame, really, because Capaldi could have been a good Doctor had he been given some good material.
Yeah, I recognised a lot of faults and a lot of things I didn't like within the Matt Smith era. But by the time we started with Capaldi's era, it was nailed on. And I'd lost interest to I'm on record as saying this. I stopped watching that last series of Capaldi. I didn't watch. That's when I turned out. That's when I tuned out. So yeah, sad. When it's something you've stuck with for so long, and you were so excited when it came back.
I think the point where you see him playing an electric guitar riding a tank, it's like, it kind of brings to mind Fonz jumping
playing
over
an electric guitar that isn't plugged into an amp because there's no power source on top of a tank that he can't possibly be controlling because he's playing an electric guitar. So who's driving the tank? That's come out of the TARDIS doors. Now I know the TARDIS is bigger on the inside, but how did it get through those doors?
Maybe it was the disabled access ramp that it got down. But anyway,
moving on. Ben says there's still 11 months of the year to get the Spectrums in.
There is.
And Jumpy has recently pre-ordered a God Phoenix, 8 inches long, metal with the 5 mini vehicles by Evolution Toys.
Right.
5 million.
Lobot is already thirsting over it. He thinks it's nice.
Right, so Christmas stuff. Right, so Christmas present to myself, which I think we'll all know anyway, is that.
Yay!
Big
Which
guy.
is now made, of course.
That was the bit of present to myself, and there he is.
There he is. Wow, there he
All
is.
awesomeness.
That's really good, isn't it? That
All
really
built.
is good.
Well, you'll know when you build yours, Andy.
Yeah.
So,
Indeed.
yeah, so thoughts. Yeah, articulation's good. You know, for what it is. Joints are stiff at the moment, but it's not something to be played with. I would say that the more you play with it, the more you manipulate it, the looser the joints will get. So you'll end up having to put like a dab of varnish on or something to stiffen them up again. But if you're just going to pick it up and pose it every now and again, then yeah, it's great. It has play features, so it all comes apart. So you can put it into its separate component parts and transform it. It's a good solid plastic. You know, at no point did I think it was going to break, or although it does. I think I mentioned this to you, Andy. I think the way that it's been tooled is that the slots are slightly smaller, but I'm talking microns here, smaller than the pegs that go in them. So you have some tolerance, and so it'll stay
Sounds
together.
like a fun night to me.
But yeah, so I mean, I think it's the kind of thing that if you're just a casual model builder, it's great, and you know it looks the part. It's the nice shade of red. It's already pre-painted in that. I mean, it's coloured plastic, but it does have highlights on it. There's a few stickers to put on, but it would look better, I think, if it was fully painted and then like given a dirt wash and things like that. But I'm not going to do that. I might give it a bit of a dirt wash just to scruff it up a little bit. But
for someone like me who's a complete idiot when it comes to trying anything of that flavour, that's brilliant because that just means I can just do it and leave it. And
yeah. But like I say, but as it is, yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. I love it, and I am glad it's in my collection. You know, it's an itch has been scratched,
indeed,
so to speak.
Go Nagai was the designer of all things ex-bombery, and the Nagai Museum was lost in the earthquake. Gosh.
And then this was a gift off my kids.
I thought that was off your mum.
Oh, sorry, my mum, yeah. Lego Batwing. Mum, kids, I have no idea. But yeah, so there we go, yeah. So Lego Batwing, Tim Burton 89 one with a little Joker as well. So yeah, that was a nice little build, which I think I live streamed that build, didn't I? With
yeah, you did, yes. At the same time that I was building this.
Yes, at the same time you built this. And then I got
clever.
two more. This was a late one. This was from this was on New Year's Day.
Oh.
The wife and my daughter went out to get a few bits, and they brought me back these two lovely chaps. So, which are
He's
very
about to
nice.
get half a dozen of them down.
Yeah, they're very nice.
They came in a box like this.
Yes, I do still have the box for them over there. So yeah, but I want to try and pick up another one of these, so then the black one can be flanked on either side by two of these grey guys. And then the last thing, the main Christmas present that I got, he said. He's pulling the box here because he's just trying to keep the element of surprise up.
Well played, Jumpy.
Surprise, not mince pies. Is this guy.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Hey.
The Atari 2600 Plus, which, yeah, it's nice. I like it. I got a game with it, Berserk Enhanced, which is essentially it's the original game, but it's just got some enhanced sound effects and speech on it. And then I got an extra joystick. so you can have 2-player. So I'm not playing with myself all the time. But yeah, it's about 20% smaller than the original one.
It must be quite odd because I wonder what they actually put in them chips wise. Because logically, you wouldn't need a lot, would you? But
right, well, I'm going to get to that. So that's the plus. That's a nice thing. That lights up when you turn it on.
That's nice.
Just so you've got size comparison. So that's a VCS, and then this is the 2600. So it's about, like I say, it's about 20% smaller. Because that's the distinction you need to make. That's a VCS.
Indeed, Jumpy. Oh, they did.
So the VCS is the six switcher, and the 2600 was a 4 switcher with 2 extra switches at the back. But it does the same thing. So inside it, obviously, it's not an Atari that's inside. It's an emulator, basically. So, and what it does is, where on the original Atari, you'd put the cartridge in, turn it on, the game's there straight away. On this Plus, it's about 15, 20 seconds because it's emulating it. It dumps the information from the cartridge into the processors in the emulation, and then you can play. But once you start playing it, I mean, I've had a go of it and that messed about with it and play exactly the same. You know, there is a bit of a cool thing where if you like, you can either have it in 4:3 or 16:9 aspect ratio.
Okay.
You know, because it connects with HDMI. It's got HDMI connectivity. So, but yeah, it's a good thing. And the old cartridges work in it as well.
Do they?
You know, so,
brilliant.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about that, yeah.
I've tried all my old cartridges and they all work so far. So yeah, it's not a bad little kit. It's not a bad little kit. It will save me playing on me other vintage Ataris. Although I've still got me other vintage Atari down here that I play on, you know, if I want 5 minutes along with me. Yeah, with that there as well. So yeah, I appreciate that. I liked that. It was a good thing. It was a good thing. So it means I can get me Atari fix on the big telly in the room without having to scuttle away up here. But yeah, so that's that was. Oh, there was the usual socks and underpants as well.
Oh, I didn't get any.
No socks and underpants. Yeah,
I got no socks and underpants.
Socks and underpants and chocolates.
And chocolates.
Socks, underpants, and chocolates. But yeah, so that
Yeah, I've not had any socks and underpants for years.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my Christmas.
We're going shopping tomorrow, so I'll buy my own.
I don't think there is anything else. Was there anything else? No, there wasn't. No, that was it. That was it. I think, was it? Yes, it was.
Was that it?
Yeah, no, that is it. Yeah, we're just trying to think. If I forgot something, I forgot it. It'll come.
Robot thinks it's all excellent.
There was although a pre-order did come through today.
Oh.
Balance payment. No, yesterday, sorry.
Oh,
balance payment on a pre-order. And that's Fans Toys Inquisitor, which is their version of Scourge, the tracker.
Oh.
So that came through. So that might actually be here within the next week or two, I reckon. Which will be nice.
Been funny.
Yes, indeed. The holy sock.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was Christmas. I'm just trying to think. Was there anything? There wasn't. No, I'm pretty sure there wasn't.
Well, I'm not going big screen for this, but I received 2 Next gift cards for Christmas.
Ideal for socks and pants.
And off my mother, I got some money. Because she's no idea what to get me. So, yeah, we're going shopping tomorrow. The kids need some new clothes. I'm going to get some bits and bobs. We'll be going to Leeds, so there's no way that we won't be going in the Lego shop. So I dare say I'll be coming home with some Lego. I'm not sure what yet. But yeah, definitely some Lego.
I've got a bone to pick with them. So I've got one of these, right?
Right, yes.
And my points keep expiring because for some reason they feel necessary to expire your points. I suppose with a view to making you keep on coming back to spend something to stop them expiring.
Right.
Which I think is a bit naughty.
You need to download the app onto your phone.
Oh.
There's an app on your phone. They don't bother with the card anymore. They just scan your phone.
Okay.
It works when you order stuff online because it links to your online account, and it works when you go into the shop. And yeah.
But do the points still expire if you don't use them?
No. Well, I've not noticed them expire. I've gone like 18 months without using mine, and they've still been there.
I think it's probably because I've gone back into my dark ages a bit. I haven't bought much Lego of late at all. So,
but no,
it's a way of punishing you. You see, for going back into your dark ages.
But no, definitely just download the app. You don't get loads of I've never had any notifications. In fact, you know what? I can tell you when. I've got a notification from YouTube telling me that I should watch the Cosmic Council on Vaults of Iacon.
Yes.
In fact, I should also watch it on Excelsior's domain. We'll get rid
I think I'll go watch it there because, quite frankly, this is boring.
Fair enough. I'll go watch it. People watching don't think the same.
I'll go watch it over there.
Where's my Lego?
Let's get one vinyl album. Good lord.
Well, apparently I've got 10,089 points.
So you can get about 2 colouring books for that.
So, yeah.
That entitles you to 2 pence off.
I think the last time I used my points, because I normally just keep... I hoard them until I can use it against a set that I wouldn't normally...
Well, I think that's what I was doing, and they nabbed them off me.
Yeah, there'll be frequently a set that I quite like the look of, but I'm like, I'm not paying that for that because it's not my normal sort of thing. But if I can get X amount off it with my points, then I might be like, okay, yeah, all right then.
Yeah.
And I don't get Ninjago. I do not collect Ninjago, but I was really impressed with one of theirs. I think it was Ninjago City Gardens or something like that.
It was a modular, wasn't it?
Huge, big one. And when you look at it, there's just loads going off. It's like all the way around it, there's stuff going off. And I was like, that's incredible. And I ended up getting, I think it was 120 quid knocked off it with the points that I'd saved up. And I was like, yeah, there's no way I'd pay that price for it, but I'll pay that price.
Yeah. I think I've still got my, I think there's still a vaguely made fire mech from Ninjago I've got upstairs that my son never got around to finishing off.
Yeah.
I think he's probably past the point of caring now. He's a Stonester. He's got this hilarious rule that basically says that I'm not allowed to do anything. Yeah, I'm not allowed to do anything with his Lego. It's got to go back in some sort of container. And the only reason he's saying that is because he doesn't want me using the bits.
You know, £70 worth of HMV cards might be able to get one vinyl album. Straight away, £70 on a vinyl album from HMV. My head has gone straight to the Beatles Red or the Beatles Blue albums. Because they're 75 quid.
Good Lord.
Rip-off. Absolute
rip-off. I've got both of them. I didn't pay anywhere near that. I think maybe £10 a piece or something I paid.
To be fair, though, I mean, I have some. I know you have a lot, but I personally think vinyl is one of those things that's vastly overpriced for what it is.
It is.
Vastly overpriced.
It's just one of those things. It's because it's so niche. That's why it's so expensive.
But it's a dead technology.
Yeah.
It's a dead technology that the conning people into thinking that it affords them some higher status because they've got a record.
I don't feel like I've got any higher status from it. I just enjoy having it.
No, but I think there's a lot of people out there that do feel that, you know, that they've a certain snobbery or nose up in the air because they have vinyl over a digital download or a CD or a cassette, you know, because it's come back into vogue, you know.
I'd have a cassette over a digital download. I'd have anything over a digital download.
Oh. But yeah, there's a lot of things I think are vastly overpriced for what you get anyway. But yeah, it is. It's. I mean, just average normal albums.
I could be really, really facetious and just say, well, what's the point in all this when you can just have a picture of it on your phone? You don't need a toy. You can just look at it.
Yeah, you could actually.
Even
have a TV.
Transformers. Well, you need to be able to do it. No, you could watch a video of someone else doing it.
Yeah. You have a TV guide. You don't need a TV.
Yeah, it's not the same. You want to have it. You want to have it.
No, but I mean, with music, it doesn't matter how you listen to it.
Oh, it does.
No, it don't.
I find it's best if you use your ears.
You get an entirely different experience out of bombing down the motorway, listening to certain songs in your car, to what you would if you were just out walking the street and listening to them on your headphones or listening to.
No,
there's different experiences.
Yeah. I said how you listen to it, not where you listen to it, but how. So whether you're listening to it on a record, a CD, a tape, the radio, it doesn't matter. It's the music. It's not the medium that you listen to it with.
When it comes to vinyl, I actually like to stand there watching the record going round. I can't do that with a digital download. I can't do it with a CD.
That reminds me, I watched Rain Man.
It's the whole experience of taking it off the shelf, taking it out of the sleeve, onto the turntable, bringing that arm across, putting it down, watching it slowly start. And it's a whole experience, especially if it's like a splatter disc or something like that.
And then getting up to turn it over.
It's part of it. Part of it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've got Apple Music on my phone and I listen to shed loads of it. But if I've got the choice, I'll put a record on. I'll spin some vinyl. Don't trust YouTube recommendations. I think it was referring to the Lego VIP thing then. He does like spinning, and now we know where that comes from.
But anyway, yeah, I just had a quick look. It's about 120 quid. 10,000 points is about 120 quid.
Oh, is it?
Works out at, yeah.
Ooh.
Cool.
So
nice then.
you've been spending a lot on Lego because...
I say that's about 18 months.
Yeah, £1 is 8 points.
That's right, yes. When
that's a lot.
You don't need to tell me that I've been spending a lot on Lego. I can see that I've been spending a lot on Lego.
Yeah, it's about 1,400 quid you've spent on Lego to get 120 quid off.
One of the last. No, that's the Lego that I've bought from Lego. I buy a lot of Lego elsewhere because it's cheaper.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so the Lego you've bought from Lego, you've spent about 1,400 quid.
Probably, yeah, quite easily.
To get 120 quid off.
Yeah, but like I said, the only Lego that I buy from Lego, Lego that's pretty much exclusive to them.
Right.
You know, Lego that they call it hard to find. I think they have it listed as on the website, and it's because they don't put it out to places like Zavvi or Amazon where it's discounted.
Right. So, like, what?
Yes.
What, for example?
It's usually the really, really big sets. Like, I haven't got it, but like the Titanic, you couldn't get that anywhere else. You had to get that from Lego if you wanted it, and obviously they don't discount them. So the last one I got, I believe, from Lego would have been the King's Castle. The Lion King's, is it Lion King or that Lion Knight or something? What's it called?
I'll tell you where. Well, I haven't been there for ages, but the Smiths Toy Emporium in Leeds, the one that's just slightly out of Leeds centre. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yes. I know what you mean. Yeah.
But that's got an awesome Lego selection. I mean, in terms of sheer volume, it's literally floor to a very high ceiling.
Hello, Tim. How are you doing, sir? He agrees with me on the vinyl.
Is it the vinyl or the Lego?
I think he put that before the Lego. Big Collective Vinyl Records seriously for 33 years. Still listens to them with my original amp and speakers. It does sound different through different sources. Yes, it does. It definitely does. Yeah. I find you get a warmer sound through vinyl, whereas I think you get a much clearer.
It's giggling
sound.
I can see up your nose here, Gareth. Just like,
no, you didn't hear what I was just about to say. I think you get a clearer sound through digital, but I think you get a warmer sound through vinyl. So that's me. You don't get the hiss, the crack, and the popple from digital, do you?
No, unless it's been added.
Yes, we could fake it. We could all fake it. Yeah, it was the King's Castle. That was the last one that I got from Lego, I think. Just quite a while ago now. And that's a 345 quid set.
And again, Lego, that's another thing that's far too expensive for what it is. But it always has been.
Always has been, yeah.
Always has been. Vastly
I remember I got that. That was the last set that I got.
Oh, that is a while ago now. Is that last year? Well, no, like last year.
Yeah, probably. I've been using it as a show and tell box. I'm talking about intellectual property, funnily enough.
You see, that's an interesting thing about Lego. If they do eventually go over to all plant-based Lego, how's that going to affect the shelf life of it? You know, will it still be viable in another 40 or 50 years, or will the bricks have disintegrated and deteriorated?
We'll not know until another 40 or 50 years.
You know, it's no, but there must be a way to test it. There must be a way to test it, or they probably already have tested it. You know, to be able to find it out. Because I mean, it's like I say, I've got Lego that's, you know, like probably 50 years old, maybe a bit older, and it still has that satisfying click to it, you know.
Have they actually moved over to that wholesale now? Because I do have a little box. Oh, I did have a little box somewhere which was like, you know, some of the first of that type. Because they literally done like trees made out of that stuff, you know, in a little sort of tester box almost, you know. So I wasn't sure how far they'd gone with it.
I don't think it's fully rolled out yet. This set, this is plastic. This isn't tree plastic because it has that sharp, rigid, plasticky feel to it, and it has that clicky snap to it when you put it together. Whereas the what set was it now? I got a set last year, and it came with a freebie. And it was like this smaller vehicle, and that felt awful, and it just kind of smushed together rather than clicked together.
Interesting.
So I'm assuming that could be
the new stuff.
the this like planty based kind of stuff.
But, that's interesting as well, because as you say, if it does have a different strength to it, then will it interact well with normal Lego as well?
Yeah, see what you mean. Yeah. Will the harder Lego, you know, sort of like deteriorate the newer stuff, and
it might color differently when exposed to light as well, and all sorts.
Yeah, you know, it could, because it might wear it or stretch it, or I don't know. Who knows? It quite possibly it might be an idea they abandon.
Could be. I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's still only the green tree elements and plant elements which have that softer feel to them.
I think they always have had, though, because don't forget they're not normal Lego bricks.
Yeah, but they used to be made out of the same plastic as the rest of the Lego. Whereas now they're made out of a softer plastic. So those where you get a stud or two with 3 branches coming off it and a leaf at the end of every branch.
Yeah,
you can flex those branches, can't you?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose from a structural integrity point of view, it wouldn't matter as much for pieces like that.
Exactly.
So purely decorative pieces, it wouldn't matter. So maybe they could mix and match like that. As a way
I don't know if they've actually brought it out to other things.
No, interesting one. Yeah.
Apparently in September, I've just found something here. In September, they ditched the oil-free brick in a sustainability setback. They were hoping to continue, but now they're still going to be leaving bigger carbon footprints. Well, not if you throw your bricks in the...
If they just got rid of the plastic bags around the bloody bricks, that'd be... Weren't they going to get paper?
Exactly. Yeah. Put those in paper bags as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
They ended up... It was going to be made out of recycled plastic bottles rather than oil-based ABS, currently used in about 80% of the billions of pieces it makes each year. But they've decided to try and improve it first before putting it out. It's like, well, yeah, they should do.
Well, yeah, I mean, they can't do something that risks the quality for which Lego is known. Yeah. I mean, that'd be pointless, wouldn't it?
Lego apparently are quoting that they want to maintain the clutch power, as they call it, of the brick. So, as far as I'm concerned, they're going the right way about this. You know, that it's something that they've got on the horizon that they want to make work, but they're not willing to put it out until it does actually work. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's how it always should be. Never mind just going for good press. You need to put
I don't see Lego bricks condemning us to a fiery hell.
No.
There's far worse.
They're probably doing carbon capture anyway.
You what? Sorry, Andy.
They're probably doing carbon capture anyway because it's not like they're being burnt. They're just being changed into some other solid. So surely that's carbon capture.
Yeah. The thing is, though, I mean, one of the things that they were going on about was how it's leaving this carbon footprint because of it's all ending up in landfill. How much Lego ends up in landfill? Seriously, how much Lego ends up in landfill?
There's a major secondary industry in sorting individual bricks to be sold back to Lego enthusiasts. So
nobody is spending that amount of money on Lego and then throwing it away when they're done with it.
Yeah,
their wives probably are when they get divorced, but apart from that, yeah.
It's almost. I'm still waiting for the imminent ice age that we were told we were going to get plunged into in the late 70s. Waiting to be melted by the acid rain that they told us we were going to have in the mid 80s, and then waiting to be burnt to a crisp by the missing ozone layer of the late 80s, early 90s. I'm still waiting for them, so maybe they'll all turn up at once. What a fucking bollocks! It does my head.
Beep.
You what?
I said beep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put him in a locked room with Greta and see who wins.
This one, sorry. You what, Andy?
I'm gonna lock you in a room with Greta and see who wins.
No, good God, no. She'd kill me with a Brussels sprout farts or something like that. Or soy milk or some crap like that.
Is she still a thing anyway?
I actually, no, in all seriousness, I feel sorry for her because she's been used. She's obviously not all there in the head, and she's been used like a puppet, and she's just been rolled out by very cynical people with an agenda, because it's like, oh, I know, let's have this young girl as our spearhead, because then if anyone criticizes her, we can call her mists and phobes, and how can you criticize a young girl and all this crap? And
but that's the toys. That's just it. Since she's no longer a young girl, I've not seen her anywhere.
No, she crops up from time to time. I think the last time I saw her crop up was because she got busted faking an arrest video.
I thought you were saying erection then.
No. they were filming her being arrested by some police, and it was actually a fake one. It was actually actors dressed as police that were arresting her, and it got leaked before it managed to get to the press.
Wow.
Don't trust anything you read or see or watch or hear.
Apart from this stream, of course.
No, I don't even trust us. No, it's just opinion. It's not fact.
Of course it's just opinions. I look forward to this year in terms of toys. Toys coming.
Toys coming this year.
24.
Well, I can only go off orders, which, if you give me a moment, I will access my spreadsheet and I will tell you what they are. But that's about. There's nothing really. I mean, I'm a bit crap really when it comes to stuff like that because I don't actively, with any great passion or like I don't actively watch or monitor the collecting scene. So usually when I find out about stuff, it's usually 2 or 3 weeks later down the line when I've just browsed something. It's like, oh right, I didn't know about that kind of thing, So yeah, I've just got a load of Transformers on pre-order, So there's stuff like the Masterpiece Omnibots. There's the Masterpiece Battle Chargers, so Runabout, Run-Amok. Then there's the Masterpiece Constructicons. Fans Toys Inquisitor, which I mentioned earlier, but that should be in a couple of weeks. And then there's the no, bloody hell, I forgot Missing Link Optimus Prime.
Oh, yeah.
Which is it's a G1 Optimus Prime that's been redesigned and they've given it articulation.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that's like when it comes out.
Yeah, it's one that everyone seemed to be excited about, and I was like, "Who wants that?"
Well, yeah, but that's just you.
Yeah, I realised that. It was before I even realised everyone was excited about it. It's one of those things. It popped up on my Facebook feed. I've even discussed this with you already, Ed. It popped up on my Facebook feed, and I was like, well, if you want a vintage Optimus Prime, you get a vintage Optimus Prime. If you want a modern Optimus Prime, you get a modern one. It's like, why would you want one that's modern that looks like a vintage one? It's like, it just doesn't compute in my head. And then I saw everyone was going crazy for it, and I was like, oh. Maybe
but they all
I'm
do it.
Missing Link.
Yeah, they're all doing it. I mean, that's what Hasbro do with the retro figures.
Well, no, that's just it. They're designed specifically to fit in with the original figures.
So just buy an original figure.
Pardon?
Why buy a new figure that's meant to look like an old figure when you can just buy the old figure?
No, you're talking about a character that there's already an original figure of and comparing it to characters that there aren't original figures of.
What, like Luke Skywalker and Stormtroopers and Darth Vader's?
No, I'm talking about the retro. They're reissues. That's what you're describing there. I don't have a problem with a reissue.
No, so I'm saying the retro. But that's what the retro collection is doing. The retro collection is making new figures of the old figures. And your point of why would you want a new figure of an old figure when you can get the old figure?
No. Again, you're using a reissue of something that's exactly the same as the original figure, and my argument is not that it's exactly the same; it's the fact that it looks the same but has better articulation. Which surely, if you're wanting better articulation, you don't want it to look like something from 40 years ago. You want it to be more up to date. If you want something from 40 years ago, you'd want it to look like it did then.
But the thing is, there's obviously a gap in the market for it because a lot of people...
That's the thing that I'm saying. A gap in the market has been noticed by Hasbro and people are going crazy for it, but I don't get it. It's just me. I personally don't get it. Hey, if anyone wants it, fine, good luck to them and I hope they enjoy it. I just don't get it. That's it. There's no argument to be made there.
No.
You can't change my mind and make me get it. I just don't get it.
on a related note, Ed, you might know something about these. What do you make of those sort of transforming kind of voice control, voice sounding Optimuses that you can like program to do different poses and stuff, that transform themselves?
Oh, the RoboSense stuff.
Yeah.
No, don't rate them. No. It's
a gimmick.
Yeah, it's. I lump them in the same category as Big Track and Sphero, the Sphero BB-8. They're electronic, gadgety, gimmicky toy that you'll play with for a couple of weeks, and then it'll just get shoved in a drawer or on a shelf gathering dust. For me, I don't see the longevity in the play value for them. And also, I mean, I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off with this, but I don't care. I see them as a bragging toy, kind of like a status symbol kind of thing, saying, "Oh, look what I have! I've spent £1,500 on this figure. Look at me! Aren't I great?" It's like, it's just a bragger's toy. It's no actual purpose or value to it. Yeah, I mean, the technology in it is good. And I appreciate the engineering and the design that's gone into it, but it's just a gimmick. It's a fad. It's a gimmicky toy that, like I say, after a week or two, it'll just get left. People will download their app on their phone. They'll be like, "Yeah, have you seen this? What it can do?" And like, "Oh, that's great. Right, yeah, okay. Does it do what else?" "Oh, well, no." "Oh, right, okay then." And that's it. How many times can you say Optimus Prime transform? Oh, how many times can you say, "All right, yeah, watch it can do this"? It's like, yeah, it can, so, and Omnibot, it's like an Omnibot. As a kid, I always wanted an Omnibot. And as an adult, it'd be nice to have one in my collection. But I recognize the fact that once you get past the bit of like, oh, it can hold a cup, it's like, what else does it actually do? I think toys like that, for me personally, have a limited appeal, whereas an action figure is limitless, because the only limit on an action figure is your imagination when you're playing with it. Whereas with a gimmicky toy, you're limited by the gimmicks that it can do. But anyway, that's what I think.
Interesting. It's interesting because it's quite funny, because when I talk about things like the sort of Starbird, people are immediately sort of, meh. But for me, I mean, I loved that, because for me, that was an imagination thing, and it had enough stuff to do that I found it quite interesting, and it was just kind of big.
Yeah.
You'd probably have it anyway, Mark.
I'd have it, because then I could sell it. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I mean, but those things, the Starbird, yeah, you like it. It's part of your childhood. It's what you grew up with, and that's fine. Big Track, that's why I have a Big Track. I enjoyed Big Track as a kid. Yeah. But even as a kid, I recognised it. Well, that's it. I've done everything I can do with it. There's nothing more I can do with it.
But
with Star Wars figures, there was always adventures and play to be had, because your head was the only limit to it.
But you would eventually grow out of them, as well as you would do with any other toy, of course. So all toys will eventually have a shelf life.
Yeah, but
But it's interesting, because from what you're saying, I wouldn't necessarily disagree, is that maybe electronic ones that can only do so much, as you say, they have a finite repertoire, will actually have a shorter shelf life than ones that are not limited in that same fashion, which you have more ability to combine with other things. I mean, Big Track can't really play with anything else. You learn a bit of programming, playing with it, and that's about it. And then you move on, don't you? So,
well, I mean, like I said, you could, stuff I did. You'd put your action men on it, and it'd sort of like it'd be a tank for your action men to go into battle with. But it was like, it was still just sort of like, forward 2, left 3, beep, and then that were it, like beep, beep, and then that were it kind of thing, where you've got an actual action man tank and you can just zoom it around wherever kind of thing. Like I said, the limit is your imagination. But with action figures, you grow out of them because you grow up. Whereas with these gimmicky electronic toys, you grow out of them because you get bored because there's a limitation to the play value and appeal to them.
And your parents get sick of buying batteries for them.
Yeah, there could be that as well. Yeah, there could be that. I mean, it's like remote control cars. I mean, that Peterbilt that I showed you the other week, I had other remote control cars as a kid. And again, they were the same. A few weeks, and it was just like, oh, this is great. Then after a few weeks, it was like, oh, right, okay, well, I can ride, drive down the street with it and bring it back, or I can do it over a jump ramp, and things like that. And it's, I think, like I said, I think there's only so far with these kind of toys you can go with.
You say that though, but saying that there's a massive, massive community for RC toys.
Yeah, there is, because they take it to the next level, which is like they go and race them.
Yeah, if you've got a racetrack near you, if you happen to have a racetrack near you, yeah.
But a kid who was playing on the street with his mates back in the 80s, there's 4 of you have got radio-controlled cars. There's only one of you going to be able to play because they all run off the same frequency, which is 27 megahertz. So you can't play together. So it's...
So that's the one toy that I get asked for an awful lot that I don't sell. Is RC cars.
Right.
And
interesting.
Yeah, it is. And I get, I would say at least twice a month I would get asked for radio control.
Start buying them in then.
I did once, but then they were like, oh, is that how much they are? You can't win. You can't win. Like, you know what? Just stick to the collector stuff, Gareth. Just stick to the collector stuff. But yeah, for so many people to come in asking for it, there's obviously a market there for them, and they know what they do. They know they're going to go forward, backwards, left, and right. That's it.
I think it's more of it's probably like train sets. They are children's toys, but they seem to be more adopted towards the hobbyist.
A big track race sounds stellar.
Yeah. Go away, make up a
literally for a race. Literally, it's going to be depend on who's got the best batteries.
Yeah.
I've got Duracell, I win. Because they all do the same thing. I race my drone away from the trees. Yeah. Don't go to that Cosmic Toys. His remote control cars are expensive. The funny thing is, it turns out I didn't realise that Imson's just round the corner on the next arcade. He had the same RC cars that I had. Same price. We buy them off him though. Okay.
I mean, there must be still some popularity to them because you still see them in toy catalogs and toy shops, like Smiths and stuff like that. You still see them in there. So there is obviously still some popularity to them. I mean, when I were a kid, they were very much boys' toys. You didn't find many girls buying them and playing with them. It was boys and
boys that are still interested.
And it's like, and I think it's tied in with that thing that, it's the gateway drug, if you will, towards when you get older and you actually start driving yourself and drive your own car.
By the same token, those remote control Daleks, they're just the same. They are just a gimmick. But
they are.
They're probably the best-selling Doctor Who toy from 2005 when they relaunched.
But how many people now are still playing with them, or either just sat on a shelf gathering dust?
Oh, but our action figures sit on a shelf gathering dust.
but we as adults we've grown out of them. But kids playing with the radio controlled Daleks, I bet they didn't play with them for very long.
Judging by the state, a lot of them have got into. And they got a lot of play out of them.
Did they, or were they just mistreated?
Probably. Isn't that playing? That's playing.
I don't know.
We get them in every now and then at work. Yeah, Benjamin works for Home Bargains.
Right.
Grasshopper. I think I had a grasshopper.
Tamiya still makes some of the classics from the 80s. Oh, do they?
That really rings a bell.
Have them for nostalgia. Lunchbox, Hot Shot, Grasshopper.
The Tamiya ones, as a kid, I used to have the smaller ones. It's run off the two AA batteries. So, like, I had the Grasshopper, the Hornet. Was it the Big Wing? The Big Wing was a blue one, I think. The Hornet was a black one. There was one that was like a white and red one, and you could buy. And literally just put the batteries in, you flick the motor, and they just used to drive off. But you had to build them though. There were kit forms, and you built them up.
Oh, I had one that was like a shell one. You put a shell on top of the base unit.
Yeah,
that was essentially so that they could make a fortune out of selling loads and loads and loads of the same toy over and over and over again with no more research and development, and it's just a new shell every time.
Yeah, yeah.
Genius.
I think mine was black and red, but I can't immediately see one of it.
It is absolutely genius. You think Hasbro's bad at reusing molds? But I've been trying to have a look, and I can't see anything that's all that interesting.
I'll tell you what's a good current example of this. Now that I think about it, because Mark just said kids don't go out anymore, but actually mine did, because we got them a hoverboard.
Oh.
And he did actually go out on that, but again, I don't know if he's played with it at all recently.
Okay.
And I don't think it had a very long, shelf life.
Yeah.
But it was. I mean, it did what it said on the tin whilst he was doing it. He's had some quiet roads down where his mum is now, and he could whiz around on it quite happily.
But that's the thing. I mean, the make a toy aimed at kids like the hoverboard, but it's a toy that's not legal to use out on the road or the pavements. It's like, well, where's the sense in that? It's like the e-scooters. I mean, I've seen a couple of kids round here on the e-scooters. They're not street legal. Technically speaking, you're not allowed to use them on the pavement or on the roads.
No.
And it's like, well, where's the sense in that? Where's the sense in making a toy that you can't legally play with? I mean, it doesn't stop them. I know it doesn't stop them, but it's like, it's not like buying them a bike for Christmas, which you can get on and go out and ride around the streets on, but it's this, it's just this, it seems to be this fad and trend. I mean, it's probably, I thought it was wearing off a bit, but I saw an advert on the TV the other night, which made me think, actually, no, it's not. And it was this thing about companies put the word smart in front of things to try and get people to buy them or to make them think it were good, yeah? And I think it was the day before yesterday, there was an advert on television, and it was for smart windows. And basically, it meant you could download an app on your phone, and this app on your phone would tell you whether your window was shut, closed, or on vent. And it's like, how lazy are we becoming as a species when we need an app to tell us if there's windows open?
That reminds me of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where they sort of say, humans had reached the pinnacle of evolution with the digital watch. Sort of it was. It was like,
the thing is, though, you said that about, and you're right. They are not licensed to be used on roads or pavements or anything, but yet you've got councils throughout the country encouraging the use of them.
Are the ones that they just put out for hire, sort of thing, and you pick them up and go with them. Yeah.
Oh, you're not allowed to ride these around the town, but please pay us to do so.
What's that? Which count? I know that councils you could hire the segways.
Yeah, there's segways.
Which were down south, they're like orangey ones, when they were just littering the pavements left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
And then they get collected apparently in the backs of vans at night, recharged, then put back out again for reuse. Yeah.
I mean, a Segway is a hoverboard with a handle.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is like,
or a hoverboard is a Segway without a handle. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If they had those as a kid, then yeah, I would have loved one. I mean, I wanted a Sinclair C5 as a kid, but they were too expensive.
It's not kids that you see using them.
Using what?
E-scooters.
Oh,
I must live in Munchkin land because...
No, I'm talking about in town. In town, on the streets, on the roads.
Yeah.
There's people up and down the roads all the time. Bradford Road, Halifax Road, e-scooters.
Well, you know what that is, don't you?
I know why that is, but I'm not going to say it over here. It's not the nicest place in the world that we live. I think
No, it's not. But you're going to Leeds, it's the same. You're going to Manchester, it's the same.
Yeah.
Throughout the city centres, that's why they have these hire scooters in the middle of the town. That me and Andy's just been talking about. They're everywhere. They really are everywhere. And it ain't kids. Well, they wouldn't hire them to a kid.
No, but what I'm saying is, though, they were first marketed and released as a children's toy, not as a vehicle to be used by adults to go around town centres. The hoverboard.
I honestly couldn't speak to that because I can't remember seeing them advertised as kids' toys.
What, hoverboards and e-scooters? Yeah, they were. Yeah,
not the e-scooters. Remember the scooter?
Far more limited, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, the e-scooters and hoverboards, they were marketed towards kids. It was like the next big thing for kids' toys for that particular Christmases that they came out.
Yeah. It was definitely a faddy thing because they'd play music out of them and all that sort of malarkey as well. As a thing, and of course you could control them with your app on your phone.
Yeah.
So
even Lobot's got them in his area.
Yeah,
council scooters.
Street amoebas. Yeah, you're being kind there, Lobot. I'm biting my lip with the ferocity of a crocodile.
There's a meme, isn't there? Old man shouting at clouds.
Yeah. And really, I shouldn't bite my lip because I'm actually comfortable with speaking my mind, but I don't want to affect your monetary income.
Well, you've probably already done that by dropping F-bomb twice.
Nah, be fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Ask Mark.
I'm well aware as well. Don't forget, I was sharing his blinking stream, wasn't I?
It was a good night. Was New Year's Eve?
It was.
The latest I've stayed up for about 10 years. 4 o'clock in the bloody morning.
Was that how long you kept going for after I went?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think we came off air at about 3:30. But then me and Mark just carried on chatting to each other, sort of like in the back room of StreamYard.
I think I just crashed and burned by the time I went anywhere. I was just too tired, so I needed to stop anyway. But yeah.
Dave Nipples. Oh,
good evening, Dave.
I'm guessing he's come on through Ed's channel.
It's possible.
Yes, judging by that lovely Transformer.
It's Retgar.
Retgar's got there, yes.
Is it the Legends?
I don't really mean on copyright clear, because the amount of trimming you had to do.
They just nuked mine. They just killed my stream completely.
But you see, that's the thing. I mean, how much realistically can you aim to actually make out of YouTube video?
Well, people tend to do sponsorship and stuff off the back of it, don't they? I don't think it's actually the YouTube money itself is probably not massive.
Yeah.
It's not more as a goal to reach.
It's like, you see, the question would be for me is, do I want to curb what I want to say just so I get a taste of pie, or would it's like, nah, I'd just rather say what I want to say. It's.
You see, I don't tend to have such a foul mouth anyway, usually. So it makes no that I'm not curbing anything that I wouldn't normally say.
No.
As for,
I don't think what you would normally say would be a particular issue.
As for the monetization, it's not necessarily the monetization I'm looking for. It's everything else that you get by being monetized.
Which is what?
You can put up memberships. There's a lot of things within YouTube. Have a look. There's a lot of things within YouTube that you can do once you become monetized that you can't do until then. And even though I'm not using any of it yet, I don't want it taken away from me. I don't want those opportunities taken away.
Fair enough. I mean, like I said, but I mean, we've talked about this. I mean, personally, I don't care. Personally, I mean, it's not. I just use it as a tool to do what I want. I'm not. It doesn't interest me about what I can get out of it. Yeah. It's just like, you know, I'll record what I record and put it out there, and if it's watched, it's watched. If it isn't, it isn't. You know, and that's it. You know, that's it. You know, the thing for me is the creativity of it. It's not what I can get out of it and get back from it. You know, that doesn't interest me, does that? You know,
Social Blade. We'll come to that in a minute.
Well, that's why you do
wonderful nipples, doesn't he?
Yeah, Studio Series, yeah.
Mark's okay with what he gets. He's talking about what he earns. I looked at my channel on Social Blade. What is Social Blade? I've never heard of Social Blade. I got a C+. I don't know if that's good or bad. Don't know.
It's like it seems like though that I don't know. It's like there's always another tier. You're always chasing something, yeah. And it's like that's the thing that I've no interest in. You know, that it's like, you know, because it's like on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. There's always this, oh, well, if you pay this, then you get this, or if you do this, then you get that. It's like, why? You know, it's not, it's benefiting other people. It's benefiting the company because you're having to pay extra for stuff, you know, for these benefits and things like that. It's like I got an email from Amazon today with regards that they're going to now start.
Well, I can do better. I can do better
then. Start showing adverts on Amazon Prime.
Yes, I got that email.
If you pay an extra £2.99 a month, then you get no adverts. It's like, it's just, I mean, they're taking the Michael, basically. Yeah.
They're trying to squeeze every last drop out of you, aren't they? Basically, that's the thing.
Well, no, what they're doing is they're having the cake and eating it. They're asking for more money from the subscription, but then they're also getting money from the advertisers to start banging adverts on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I don't know if that's Mark had quite a nice goalpost reached earlier. Was it today, Mark? He's reached, what is it? 750,000 views as of the 2nd of January. And I've just reached 200 uploads. I don't know if that's anything to be congratulated for, but I've been congratulated.
So who's congratulated you exactly? Sorry.
That's vidIQ. I can't remember why I signed up to them, to be honest with you. It might have been something to do with when I was doing the intros. But since then, they kind of like keep an eye on YouTube for me and just let you know when you're doing well and when you're not doing so well and what you might be able to do to improve it. And it's like, oh, right, okay, it's free.
Isn't that what analytics is for?
That's what analytics is for, but they can explain those analytics to you.
Right.
Yeah. So, because I mean, I look at those analytics, I haven't got a clue what he's trying to tell me, to be honest with you. It's like, oh, right, okay, X amount of people have watched this. People have watched it from this country, that country, whatever country. It's like, what does that actually mean to me?
I mean, don't get me wrong, again, we've had this conversation before. I get it because you're trying to make money out of it, you know, because it's linked to your business. But for someone like me, he's just doing it just to say what I want to say on something, you know, and like what Dave has said there, you know, we, you know, engage with a couple of fellow collectors, you know. I've really,
as well. Okay.
You know, I really don't have no interest in all the other stuff tied with it, you know, because it's not. Yeah, it just doesn't. It don't interest me. It's that's all I can say. What's that?
No, I mean I've got sort of intellectual.
1,000 in 6 months. 1,000 what?
Subscribers, I would imagine.
Oh, really?
But, I mean, for me, it's kind of intellectual curiosity as much as anything else. Because partly I was trying to prove a point to my son because he was sort of great. Because he'll watch all these kind of Fortnite YouTubers who've got in the millions of subscribers and Mr. Beast and all that sort of stuff, and sort of think the average streamer is never going to come anywhere near that. Now, obviously, I'm an old man, so I'm never going to be that popular because I'm not going to be the sort of person who kids are going to want to watch. And of course, it's a really crowded market these days as well. So, you know, the fact that we're doing this on a regular basis is actually a very, very good thing, I think, because I think you've got to do that to stand any sort of chance. But I know what my figures look like. I know that I'm doing bloody obscure content-related videos, which are not going to get a massive, broad audience looking at them, you know. So it is just kind of like a personal challenge to myself, I suppose, to see if I could actually get back to the position I was in when all my cartoons intros were getting lots of little views, but lots of them, having been up there for donkey's years. But you can't monetize if you're using reused content. You've got to be doing original stuff. So for me, like with Ed, it's like the creative side of me is sort of saying, well, okay, can I make videos that will get views, and could I eventually sort of, to get back towards that sort of level? I mean, I don't know what that would particularly bring me apart from a sense of achievement, because it's just bizarre, how much watch time I lost getting rid of those cartoon little intros was crazy. And they were really crappy quality as well, because I did them years and years ago. It was like 15 years ago I was putting those on YouTube. It was crazy, But at that point in time, they probably would have been unusual, until things started getting more readily digitizable and all that sort of good stuff. So yeah, for me, it's just kind of like, it is very much a sort of hobby kind of thing. But it's just that videos and something I've never done before. For me, it was always my website where I put my creativity into that and built that up over a number of years, before I then got married and everything else and had a kid, and then it went on the back burner when I got poorly and stuff. So it's kind of, it's all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'd miss it if I were doing something creative. So for me, this is, and it gets me meeting people like yourselves and out and about and sociable and all that sort of stuff. And I think that's healthy. So
yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. I mean, like I say, I do it more to improve, like personally, whether it's an editing technique or a photo technique and things like that. But I mean, if I'm being honest, I could walk away from it now. I could walk away from it all now today and not bat an eyelid over it. Yeah. And I would still continue doing stuff, even if I just ended up watching it myself, because I'd want to say, right, okay, well, how can I edit that a bit better? How could I do that a bit better? And then just enjoy them for myself, knowing that I've improved myself and the technique that I'm doing, because I mean, when you look at the statistics of it and things like that, if you just get one view on a video or a photo on Instagram or something like that, the odds of that happening are phenomenal. So even just one view is a win, or one like or one comment, when you consider how much content is out there and how many people use it and interact with it, so whether you've got 10,000, 1,000, 20,000, 2 million followers, or whether you've got one follower, I make no distinction. That one follower for me is just as valuable as the 2 million followers that someone else might have, because statistically speaking, you'll get one person following you. That's a win. That's a win. So it's just, I just don't. But I get it. I do get that some people, they have this need that they feel that they have to, and it's like, and they'll get worked up about it. They say, oh, well, I've got to have this, I've got to have that. And it's like, I think, just me personally, I think maybe that's the wrong attitude to have, with social media. If you're doing it just for the likes and the subscriptions and things like that, What's that, sorry?
You're welcome, Ed. Somebody had to do it.
All right, yeah. Thank you. You're welcome, Lobot. I'll send you that £5 in the post.
We're approaching that 2-hour mark. Do we think we're going to be going on beyond that, or have we said everything that we wanted to say? We covered everything that we wanted to cover.
I don't know. Maybe there's something, I don't know. But I will be going at 10 though, because I'm shattered. But if there's anything that you want to get in within the next 50 seconds,
might be time for a cup of tea.
But feel free to carry on without me. You go on ahead. Leave me behind.
No, because I'd feel absolutely terrible if one of two things happened.
What?
If the viewers disappeared with you, or if we suddenly gained more without you, I'd feel terrible both ways.
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. I'm sure the viewership would probably go up.
Mark says you need to enjoy the topic that you are talking about. Yeah, no, definitely. Okay. Yeah, I think if you do enjoy the topic you're talking about, then the people watching are also going to enjoy it more anyway, because that's going to lead to more people viewing. But definitely,
yeah.
Well, it's going to lead to viewership retention rather than the opposite, at least.
No, but the thing is, that's not always the case, because there'll be no names named, but there's quite a few YouTubers that their content is basically moaning about everything.
Yeah, but they enjoy doing it.
Well, they may enjoy moaning, but you see, this is the thing. This is the thing I don't get. It's like I don't understand what mental disability a person's got, that they would go and watch a film that they know they're not going to like and they're not going to enjoy, just to watch it, and then go on the YouTube channel and moan about it. It's like, why would you do that? Well,
you do exactly the same thing, but not to go on YouTube and moan about it, but to talk to me or Gene about it.
No,
I will like it.
I will watch a film.
Thank you, Benjamin.
I'll watch a film, and if I don't like it, I'll tell you. If I like it, I'll tell you. I don't think, right, I'm not going to enjoy that, so I'm going to go watch it, and then I'm going to moan about it. It's like,
what you mean.
For several years, you did exactly that with The Walking Dead. I watched it to tear it to pieces.
I watched The Walking Dead, and I enjoyed The Walking Dead, and then the quality of it started declining, but I wanted to see how the story went through. I'm talking about the people that will go and watch the Marvel films, yeah? And it's like, why would you go and watch them? What's that?
Well, he was going to bed, so thank you guys and take care, everyone. But then I'll just listen to Ed for a few more minutes.
No, go to bed, Jumpy. I'm not going to say anything that's worthwhile listening to. Go on. Go to bed. There's far more important things to be doing in bed than listening to me. But no, you know the people I'm talking about.
Oh yes, there will be people who do it just to be perverse for the sake of being perverse and getting the views because they're being controversial,
Yeah. Yeah, because they'll even do the intro videos. They're like doing intro. They say, I'm just on my way up to the cinema to watch this film. I've heard it's really crap, and I know I'm not going to enjoy it, but I'm doing this because then I can tell you. It's like, well, why try and martyr yourself? It's just like, just don't do it. If you know you're not going to enjoy something, don't do it.
But surely, it's funny because when I did the intro for my channel, when I first decided to give it some sort of sense of direction, I guess a lot of channels are naturally focused on doing something in a particular way in order that they have a particular audience that then will return. And I guess if you nominate the fact that you're going to go and whinge and moan and whine about something and set out to do that, and that is your channel's established raison d'etre, and that's what you're going to keep doing because that's what your audience then expects you to do. So then you're kind of locked on that road, aren't you?
Yeah.
And
it may be completely nonsensical, but that's your call, isn't it? And their call as to whether or not they want to keep watching you. So
probably also the fact that a lot of the channels that you're talking about as well, YouTube is probably their income. They probably don't have a job. It is their income. So they do those videos. They pay their tenner. They go watch the film. And then they probably earn 60, 70, maybe even a few £100 off the video just by saying how much they dislike it. It's what their viewers expect, and therefore they do it because it's what earns them the wage.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we're probably talking about people here who get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, possibly even millions of views on their videos. Can't really compare it to what we earn off the couple of hundred views that we might get, if we're really, really lucky.
well, what you earn, I won't earn no off it.
Hey,
do you earn anything off it, Andy?
I don't now. There was a time before they tightened the monetization rules where I used to get a few pennies here and there, but it wasn't anything massive, no. But they did really tighten it, because all of a sudden, when I used to be getting a little bit, it just stopped because it had to be this many watch hours, had to be a certain type of thing. You had to reapply for it, and then you got rejected if you didn't fit the guidelines. I mean, clearly what they are trying to do is establish YouTube as a safe place for monetization purposes, so that you get quality production of monetizable content. So you can still put out copyrighted content, but obviously you won't benefit from it. The content owners will benefit from it. And there's that balance to be struck between sort of doing that and getting views to your channel and then producing your own content that you can monetize. But I think they're just trying to make sure that the quality is kind of lifted generally in order that YouTube as a platform will appeal to advertisers. And so they can kind of drive the revenue that way. And I think originally that wasn't such a big thing for them. But that's obviously part of their business model has kind of moved in that direction. So, yeah.
I mean, I think the point, once it starts becoming like hard work, it's no longer a hobby. That's what it is for me. It's a hobby. It's not a job. It's not work. It's a hobby. And if I start having to put effort, if I feel like I need to put effort into it above and beyond to be getting something out of it, then it's no longer a hobby, for me. So it's just, but I mean, I would assume the system's rigged anyway, because whoever's going to profit out of it, it's going to be YouTube. YouTube will be the 100%. Ones that profit out of it the most.
100%.
And the copyright thing don't bother me, because it's like, I've had copyright strikes on my content that I've made, because I've used a particular song or something like, or a clip or something, and I don't mind, because I get to have it in my video. I use it in my video. And it's like, that's fine, because someone far better and more creative than me invented it in the first place. I'm just borrowing it to use it because it fits in what I want to do. So if they earn a couple of pence off it, fair enough. I don't care, knock yourself out kind of thing, If it makes my video look good, I don't care who gets the money. I do believe it's rigged in YouTube's favour.
Obviously.
Well, they're a business like anything else, so yeah, there's got to be money in it for them, because obviously, it's fascinating in the sense because there must be one of the big storage / kind of bandwidth users out there, because you can imagine how many people are accessing it at any given point in time from any God knows how many different devices. I mean, just mind-boggling,
I did find myself a couple of weeks ago looking around for a YouTube alternative, to go
Rumble.
Well, there's Rumble, there's Vimeo. I thought about going. Vimeo looks quite good, but you have to pay for certain, to be able to do certain things. If you go for the free account, you can only do 2 videos per month.
Right. Vimeo is interesting though, because there's so many Vimeo videos on YouTube.
Yes. I know the name, but yeah,
it's reposting, isn't it? People repost them to YouTube accounts. I mean, in fact, I believe Vimeo does actually have a YouTube account as well that you can watch Vimeo stuff on. So it's all incestuous, it's all like cross platforming and stuff like that. But yeah, it's but if people watch and they're happy to watch, then yeah, fair enough.
Right then.
I think that brings us to the end. Just past 10. 8 minutes past. I've got my Bolton and Doncaster Toy Fair video going up tomorrow. It's a long one. It's over an hour and 14, hour and 15 minutes. So I suggest a cuppa, some snacks, get them ready before it starts. Or watch it in bits.
And what time is that, Gareth?
7:30, I believe. I haven't set the premiere yet, but it will be 7:30. It will be 7:30 tomorrow. I'll be setting the premiere up in the morning. That said, I believe that my Patreons have already watched it, so I could put it up, but no, I'll leave it until. I'll leave it for tomorrow night at 7:30, like I normally do. I like that time. It's the cosmic time. That's not long. How long's yours? It wasn't that long, was it? It's long enough. It's long enough. It took long enough editing the bloody thing, I can tell you.
Have you one coming up, Andy?
I have one in mind to do, which I've gathered some resources for. So I will be doing it, but I haven't done it yet. So yes,
right,
yes.
I've not all. I don't think. Let me just have a look at my board. Maybe the 18th.
The 18th of January.
18th of January. That's when my next planned one. Anyway, the next Collector's Archive. That's going to be 18th.
Will that be episode 1 of the new season?
Yeah, that will be episode 1 of season 4, which may be the last season. It might be the last season. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I've got more. I've got more content to push past that, but I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided because I have a few other ideas of stuff that I want to be doing. So I might be able to rework them for that, but it just depends. It depends whether I can be bothered or not. Joking aside, I had a break from it over Christmas. I didn't post or do anything. I did one post, I think, over Christmas, yeah. But other than that, I had a break from it. And you know what? I bloody enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to bear in mind that it's sometimes worth taking a break, I think, because I think it just recharges your battery a bit. I mean, I remember when there were times when I was doing my website where I just had to take a step back and think, you're putting a bit too much into this now. Because, if you are creatively minded, I think it inherently can be quite all-consuming if you don't maintain a bit of perspective on it, So I think it's only healthy to do that from time to time. I would always encourage others to do that because, I think, you can burn out.
Yeah.
And it's like I sometimes find myself thinking, why am I doing all this work during the day and then doing all this work at night? It's like, this is not sensible, but
these two folders. So this blue folder, that was the Christmas special. And then this black folder, and then there's another black folder down there. Those are Collector's Archive. And so I was telling Gareth the other day about this. I mean, these are all notes. This is all my notes and stuff, and planning and editing and cues and notes and stuff that I write down for each video.
Yeah.
It's so, I really do, really meticulous with it, and I plan it out. That's why when it goes live, if I notice something, I'm like, okay, I missed that kind of thing, because there is that. I can guarantee every video I put out, I will notice something that I've missed or I've not just done right. But
yes, then again, what we're doing here is, like you've said several times, it's a hobby. We're not doing this for some big corporation. It's not our job to do what we're doing. We don't need to do it on a professional level. The fact that we do it on the level that we do it at and people enjoy it, that's your win.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. This is my self-improvement on doing the next one better. Okay. So, but yeah, it's but no, it was a nice break over Christmas. I did enjoy that because it was like I don't have to edit anything. I don't have to take a photograph. It was great. I mean, I still went on Photoshop and did a few bits on Photoshop and things like that, but I haven't posted it. It was just like, I suppose, kind of just, honing techniques and things. What's Mark on about?
I hope so. I think he's referring to what I just said.
Oh, it's not too long.
No, about it doesn't have to be to some high professional standard.
Yeah.
Still watch it. Yeah.
Well, no, I think is there's something in that, being as long as you've got something, if what you've got to say is interesting or people can connect to, I don't suppose it matters what, it's what if it looks flashy or not.
No. I think I think as we were saying before, I think the enthusiasm factor counts for a lot.
Yeah.
Because people will, if you're being sort of monotone and boring and all the rest of it, people will spot that a mile off. But if you've got that sort of certain, little spark to it, then people will engage with it, I think. Certainly more easily anyway.
Yeah.
But it's funny, what I found myself doing one night over Christmas was I was just fixing my website because I hadn't realized how broken it had gotten over time. And it was for me, it was like a problem solving thing as well. I thought, why does it look broken? And then I realized I had how to fix it, and I had to go through about 100 odd pages doing this little edit each time. Yeah. But now it looks as it should, and now I'm happy because I've actually done that as an exercise. And a microscopically small proportion of the universe will ever see it probably ever again. But at least now I know I've got the personal satisfaction, which is what I think we're talking about here. That that it's actually presenting as it should be now. So
that's SFXB.
Yes, starfleetexbomber.co.uk. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I go visit. I go visit and have a look. Yeah, I do. Yeah. The thing is, the interesting about that is I used to go and visit that website long before I knew Andy.
Yeah.
And who he was.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because obviously, with liking Starfleet, and to be fair, I think there's that, and I can't remember. I think there's only maybe a handful of websites out there that actually have anything worthwhile about Starfleet on them.
Well. The funny thing was that I'd created it over time. It's a very sort of flat file kind of website. It's not database driven. And there did come a time in life where I both A, had a child, and B, was quite poorly. So I just left it. And it was kind of left up, obviously, but it was left static effectively at that point. But there was a time when, as you say, there were very few websites full stop. When I first put a page up about Starfleet, people used to just start sending me stuff. So then I kind of grew it and then got my own domain for it. And, and it literally just grew organically because people were sending me stuff. But then what then happened was that a guy came along who runs the xbomber.co.uk website. And he was doing a game of the series based off the show, which is still up and running and still going, and that's a good play. If you like your sort of arcade scrolling shooters, that's what it is. But he's now kind of taken on the mantle of putting images up and stuff. And then of course a Facebook group started, and of course now it's just that much easier for others to do it. But I just started at a time when websites were harder to do. But I grew it because other people were interested. Then I put some more AT stuff on there, and just and that was where I kind of just sort of settled there. But it had its own forum, and its forum is still alive. It's still quite active. And again, that guy very kindly took over the forum, so he sort of did a better forum, and I now redirect to the forum that he set up. But it was my forum that he ported onto that forum, so he kind of took mine and moved it because he's more technically savvy than I am because he's younger. So, but it's nice that it's carried on all this time. It's been up for years now, 25 years, I think, ish. And it's been going all that time. So it's just nice, it's my little thing, So
I know what you mean. I mean, there's been a couple of people I've spoken to with Collector's Archive, and I mean, 98, I think I started, and then the first website was like early 2000s. So it's I think I'm approaching 21 years or 22 years, I think, website wise. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's and they'd never heard of me. And I loved that. I thought that was brilliant. I thought, I've gone under the radar, which I think's awesome, because I've not pushed it. I've not gone out there and, this is me, not done any of that. But it's but there have been people visiting it over those years.
Yeah.
But like I said, but it's been low key, where there's others like, TFW, Transformers World 2005, whatever it is, and Cybertron and those kinds, which are just huge. They're massive. Yeah. But I think the reason why they're so massive is because they're like their core, they're based in the States. So they've got, and then it's bled over to here kind of thing, So, But yeah, the SFXB website, I'd been visiting that, Andy, long before I even knew who you were.
Well, it's a small world, as they say. It's a small world.
Yeah, it is.
Particularly when it came to Starfleet, at least back in the day, it was definitely a niche thing. And I'm still. I mean, I used to get some really, lovely emails from people who said, "Oh God, I remember that," and it was just lovely getting that like you say, getting the odd follower, getting the odd email. It's just like make you feel like you've done it for a reason, because the only reason I was doing it was just to kind of remind people about the show and shows like it, and it's just nice.
But it's one of those things. I think
feelings,
it's gonna get harder and more difficult, because it's so easy for people to access now and to do it for themselves, and the information is so easily accessible as well. So a lot of these, like the website you do and these data websites, are all jostling and fighting for position, because it's just so easy to. I mean, even if it's just Wikipedia. I mean, Wikipedia isn't always 100% accurate, but
it's a good source.
Yeah, but it's a good source. It's a good starting place, and 9 times out of 10, you can find out what you need to know just by going there.
Yeah,
you don't even have to touch the specialized wikis. To get
but they're good as well. I mean, they to my mind are the sort of the fan websites of the now, because they're so easy to use and set up. So yeah.
But
grand.
There we go.
And on that bombshell.
And with that,
definitely time for a cup of tea now.
And on that bombshell, bugger off, everyone. What are you doing? Why are you still here? It's finished. Go.
Well, they obviously find what you both got to say very interesting.
Good God, why?
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 I need to delete that.
You get more sense sitting than talking to yourself in a darkened room.
What's there? Benjamin's still here.
Benjamin's still here. And Lobot.
And Jumpy.
Oh, Jumpy's still here. Jumpy, you were supposed to be going. Bugger off, will you?
You're addictive. He's definitely going now.
I will not be happy until my channel loses followers. Well, I'm determined to get to 0 followers by this time next year. That's my goal. That is my goal.
Block them.
No, I want them to sod off on their own.
Right. Fair enough.
Right.
Enough.
I'm going anyway. You two carry on if you want.
I think I'm ready for calling it a night, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm off to bed. I feel rough as a badger's ass, to be fair.
Rubbish. Not good.
Because I know you've not been so well over Christmas. I haven't been well over Christmas. Have you got over yours?
Huh?
Did you get over yours?
I'm more or less over mine now, yeah. It's taken ages, though. It has, one way or another. Yeah. Whether it was more than one or what, I don't know. But yeah, I'm kind of there now.
Yeah.
See you later.
Anyway, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Certainly will. Yes, 2 weeks' time. Tomorrow for my premiere.
Yeah.
Good night,
all. Whenever and my maybe end of month, if I can be bothered.
If you can be bothered. If you can be bothered.
If you can be bothered.
Oh.
Hurrah!
Right, come on, end it then. Press end.
And then good night.